Cable-Tec Expo, we're going to show our BarrIER technology. The demonstration you're about to see is using a live LTE signal to show how our BarrIER technology will actually degrade the LTE signal by 40 dB, and therefore ensuring that your cable TV systems will not be hampered by that signal getting into your open ports. Okay, so our demo setup here is we've got some unique equipment. We've got an Agilent LTE signal generator. That signal generator is generating a signal at 710 megahertz, which is right in the AT&T LTE band. The output of this generator is going inside our RF shielding tent to our antenna. The shielding tent is here to make sure, one, the FCC doesn't yell at us, and number two, so that anybody with an AT&T phone actually does have signal. Because if we had this open, you'd be wiping out your phone services all around us. Also inside our tent, we have Holland TFC's Pro Amp Drop Amp product here, outfitted with our BarrIER technology. The input of this Pro Amp is a 256 QAM modulator streaming a video to our television set. The output goes right to our TV set over here, as you can see the streaming video. The TV set is set at channel 110, which is 710 megahertz. The piece of equipment here we have is our spectrum analyzer. It is actually not hooked up to anything. The only thing we have here is an antenna picking up that LTE signal so you can see the waveform. And as I move it around, you can see how it changes in its signal. So let me explain exactly what we've got. We have our drop amp. We have one port terminated, one output port going to the television set. We have it that way because that's what you'll find in a home or in the box outside the home all the time, is that there's terminated ports, but there's open ports all the time. And those open ports are your biggest area of ingress that will cause your cable system to get in trouble. But because our BarrIER technology is enabled here, these three open ports are not affecting our television picture whatsoever. We have our streaming video without any interference. But we all know what happens when a cable person who has their cable decides, you know what, I'm either going to cancel my service or I'm going to remove one set-top box. They call up the cable company tells them, okay, disconnect the cable on the back of your set-top box and bring the box in. So at that point in time, they disconnect the cable, they'll have this male connector just sitting out there behind their cabinet. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when that's happening. As I install this cable, this little jumper cable on the end of one of the ports of our amplifier. And as I screw this down, you're going to be able to see our television picture is gone. Just because this open male port right here is picking up that LTE signal, and it's completely wiping out the channel that's on that same frequency band. As we all know, LTE bands are going to expand, which means more and more channels are going to be impeded by the LTE signals that are getting into our homes and all those open ports. Now, to solve this problem, we have a couple of solutions. One, we do have a BarrIER connector on the male side for the cable. You can put this on, you can change the jumper cable, you can cut off the connector and put this BarrIER male on. We also have adapters that are available that you can put on. The adapter comes in either a female to male version or a male to female version. So the male to female would go on a wall plate. The female to male can go on the end of your jumper cable. These adapters are going to come with a dry lock Loctite system on them. This one we've removed for our demonstration purpose. But the Loctite's there so when you do install it onto those cables or wall plates, the customer is not going to be able to remove them very easily. Therefore, it becomes part of the actual product. Now, when we take this adapter and we put this on the end of our cable here, you're going to watch the television picture return because the BarrIER is now enabled on this open jumper cable. Our streaming video is back in play. BarrIER is now protecting your cable signal. Now remember, I still have two open female ports and an open male port that's BarrIER protected. We're going to take another jumper cable. This time we're going to have our BarrIER male on the end of it, and I'm going to put it on one of the other ports. As I put this on, you're going to see the TV picture is not hampered in any manner or form, because we now have two open male ports, which is actually your worst points because those act as antennas, and those male ports are not affecting our picture. So we have a perfect video stream going with open male ports. Now, just to show you that if we enable one of these BarrIER ports, because the BarrIER is a patent pending technology that's going to reduce your signal ingress by about 40 dB. It's broadband, so it'll save your noise from your washing machines, from air conditionings, from any motors, and the LTE signals that are getting in. But it is basically disconnecting internally any of those signals getting through. So that's why we call it the barrier, because there's a little wall built in, essentially from the outside to the inside of the product. And exactly how it'll work is that if we take this female port that is sitting open right now, and the barrier is protecting it because it is completely disengaged inside. But if I activate our barrier port by connecting this, just with my finger, you're going to watch your TV picture completely wipe out. As soon as I let go, your picture returns. So barrier is enabled, barrier is disabled, the picture comes and goes. So that's why barrier is your solution to protect your ingress from any noise source, broadband. It is basically what we consider one of the biggest game changers to happen in the cable TV industry in the last 20 years.